Hi, welcome to my video. I'm Cyclops FPV and today I'm going to be reviewing my latest build. This is a tiny whoop which originally ran a 31mm prop. This will also run a 40mm prop, and my choice of motors for this, you can see the difference there with the props. These are 55mm props. My motor choice for these are they're 20mm motors, and they're a bit taller than the standard motors that you'd normally run on this. I think they were 16mm, and I put the longer ones on there so that the landing feet were more longer, and it will sit more level, and also it brings the props a little bit higher. Now what I've done here, I bought an X frame. This is a carbon X frame, a true X, and it's 90mm from motor post to motor post. And what I did was I cut up an old Armour 65 Lite, where the flight controller goes in the frame. Originally I had the battery bay on there, but that was all smashed up anyway. It still worked, but the battery sat quite low. It sat round about there, and obviously on flat level ground it wobbled. So what I did to save weight and to get it to sit more level, what I actually did was I cut the motor bay, the battery bay, right the way down, and added an O-ring to hold the battery. And it's a bit fiddly getting it all in, but once it's in, it keeps the center of gravity a lot lower. See, and now it will sit on the feet and stay level on the ground. Plus the mass is a lot lower as well. I've flown this in angle mode around my flat, and it seems to fly really well. And I haven't tried it in acro mode, but you're going to see the maiden flight at the end of this video, and we'll see how it goes. Now back onto the motors. Now I chose a 17,500 kV motor, which is the same as a 16mm version. I could have gone higher, but this flew in angle mode at almost zero pitch, and even then it was a bit too quick at times. It's very lively on the throttle, and the reason being, and this is why I chose these motors, these small 31mm props, they have to spin up quite a lot to get you up in the air. Plus they're very inefficient because of the ducts and everything on a tiny whoop. Obviously the 40mm props, which this will run on, it's a lot better. But I didn't want to go down that route. I wanted to try something completely different, and chose these 55mm props. And although if you see, they sit quite close together, and they just miss the canopy, especially the camera. But I flew it and it's okay. Now what I'm going to do in the future, I'm waiting on these. I think they're called Walkera Ladybird props. They're bullnose props, and what that means is that these ends are chopped off and they're more squarer, so it gives you a little bit more gap. See, look, they come quite close, and the idea is that the turbulence from the end of the propellers will have more clearance to dissipate. But like I said, like I've flown this, and so far it flies perfect. Like I said, it's got a lot of lift, and a lot of authority because of the wider area, the wider circumference of these 55mm props give it a lot more power because they don't have to spin so mad. I mean, they came off a toy quad. They're only you know, the generic brand. I mean, they make them for all sorts of toys, but I thought I'd give this a go and was quite impressed by it. So yeah, you know, obviously we'll have to peg it and see what it's like in acro and everything, but I'm expecting good results out of this. Now this is a work in progress. I'm going to try and tidy it up a little bit more and you know, try and save a bit more weight. But at the moment this weighs about 27 to 28 grams, which ain't bad. Now I've had to use this whoop board, this whoop frame. Like I said, it was damaged anyway, so I cut it up. Because this is a carbon fibre X frame, it's very conductive, so you can't have the whoop board touching the carbon. So because I used the an old whoop frame, the flight controller or the flight board sits in there perfectly, using the gummies and everything to cushion any vibrations out, and I knew it'd fit, and it keeps it nice and flat, so the gyro calibration and everything, you know, will still work as per normal. Yeah, then all it was cutting the battery bay off, and you know, the centre of gravity was better, but it was also less mass, you know, because it's all centralised around the middle. And it flew, to be honest with you, it flew all right even with the battery sitting low. It's just that when I landed, it lands at a tilt, which I didn't like that. I'd rather it land nice and flat. But yeah, so it's basically like, you know, something anyone can do. If you've got a spare frame lying about and it's damaged, just cut it up and just mount it the way it is. The only thing is the wires are a little bit short, so you can't sort of tape them in because it will pull on them. But there's no way these wires will get in the way of the props. They clear quite a lot. The cable at the back could do with shortening, but you know, it doesn't get in the way of the props. But yeah, that's my 90mm build. Very lively on the throttle. It should do power loops and everything all right. Obviously, I don't know what the handling's going to be like yet, or any prop wash problems or anything like that. You know, we'll have to see when we take this out for its test flight. But in angle mode, it's good. The other thing I did was I cut down the canopy, just so that it looked a bit better, really. Cut off any excess plastic that wasn't really needed, and just kept the weight to a minimum. Yeah, I mean, the frame came with its own camera, a carbon fibre camera mount to put on it, but it stood too tall. It came up here somewhere, and I didn't like it, and I couldn't find a way to mount it without the carbon hitting the flight board. So I dropped that right down to the board, as you can see. The only thing is you get the props in shot, but it's not that bad, you know. It's not that bad, and I'm not bothered about props in shot anyway. Yeah, the camera's terrible. It's not the original Makerfire camera. It's one out of an Eachine EO13, the original one. It's a 1000 TV line camera, but I burnt this camera out at some point, and it's never been that good. It still works, but just the colours get a bit washed out sometimes. So it's the only one I had spare, so I just put it in there. yeah, so that's my 90mm build. Very easy to do, only took me an evening. The taller motors will help as well with the longer cans. I may change that to 19,000 kV, but we'll see what it's like with the flight video and see how much lift we can get with these extra size props, because they're almost twice the length of the 40mm props. So really you shouldn't need to go any higher on the motors. These should be quite sufficient. Anyway, that's enough gabble from me. Watch the flight video. I'm going to be doing some more mods on this, but we'll watch the flight video at the end of this video and judge for yourself. Right, well, that's it for now. I'll catch you on my next one. Cheers, guys. Bye. Okay, folks, so this is my maiden flight on this X-90. I've never flown this before, other than around my apartment in angle mode. So, firstly, I've got to apologise about this camera. I blew this camera up ages ago and tried to repair it, and it's never been that good. The colours are really bad on it, and the sun is shining really low in the sky, so this is like 2:30 in the afternoon, and I just can't get that glare out of the camera from the sun. But anyway, yeah, I was really surprised. This flew really good. It had bags of power, considering it's only got 7x20 motors on it, 55mm props, and it feels really light to fly. And I didn't punch it. I was still running in these motors, but I was about 3/4 of throttle most of the way. So, but I had loads and loads of power. I had more than enough to fly this around, and I got a couple of yaw washouts, but most of the time it was okay. So I just put that down to, like, you know, a bit of wind or something. But yeah, I'm really surprised how well this flew. Yeah, I was doing some rolls there and some power loops and split S's. It's just the bad camera on this. It's just really bad. It kind of lets the flight down, but you know, I can work on all that. But yeah, handles really good. It's very agile, very quick, considering it's got the same motors as what was in the Whoop before that, only with taller cans. And yeah, I can't fault it really. Really pleased with it. The only thing you got to be careful you don't smack anything, because the motors will take the brunt of it. So hence why I'm flying in this big field. I had no idea how it would behave, so I was a bit nervous, to say the least. But yeah, see, I've got a little bit of a wobble there. But yeah, I just put that down to a bit of bad air or something, because most of the time it flew absolutely perfect. It's just the colour's awful on this camera. It's terrible. But yeah, even flight time was quite good. I couldn't even see where I was in this field. This camera is so bad. That's why I'm sort of like the grass was wet, so I couldn't land on there. So I was trying to find out where I am, so I can land it on the road. But this camera just kept crapping out on me all the time. But yeah, I was quite happy with it. Oh, there I am there, see. But you see, you can hardly see me. Look, I'm just coming into land over here, and that's job done. Yeah, very pleased with it. Worked out really good. Anyway, cheers for watching, guys. See you later.